Ladies and gentlemen, if I were to tell you 5 months ago that Ben Sasse would resign, well, basically be forced to resign from the Senate, Alec Baldwin could potentially be facing charges for accidentally ending the life of a cinematographer. And oh, by the way, Hunter, Joe's son, might actually be facing indictment and charges for tax felonies and other crimes. What would you say? And if I were to tell you also, within that time span, you would have um, a Durham probe trial that is just right around the corner, what would you say? Okay, so it's pretty interesting in terms of all the things taking place. Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, to my super chat. I cannot thank you enough. Your super chat support helps me do these. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. So, if you look, we'll just go ahead and start with Ben Sasse. When Ben Sasse heard the okay, so this is Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse bets his political future on opposing Trump. And it's pretty interesting when you look at his basically his entire political future rested upon opposing Trump. Now he's resigning, just like Liz Cheney, just like Adam Kinzinger, just like anyone who goes up against Trump, because you have a president, Donald Trump, who had record low unemployment. Permanent revolution. Thank you, Permanent Revolution. Thank you so very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Starting off the super chat, thank you. I hope all is well. Permanent Revolution, thank you so very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. To my super chat, again, I cannot do this without you. So, we'll start off. Ben Sasse is just one of the Republicans that was in Congress serving as almost an extension of the Democratic Party in many ways pertaining to Trump. Trump presided over, his presidency, we saw record low unemployment, but also record low in poverty in 2019, and a record high in household median income. We had a record low in poverty in 2019 under Trump. We also had a foreign policy that was the antithesis of what we see today. Mashed potato brains Joe is taking us to the brink of Armageddon, which is not hyperbole. You've been very cautious to address this, and months back I told everyone there's going to be a nuclear confrontation. I predicted that in the stock market crash and a lot of things we're seeing, and unfortunately it's taking place. Anti-Trump Republican Sasse suggests he's ready to leave the Senate. That's because the type of president that he wanted, we have in the Oval Office now. Ben Sasse has said less about Biden than he has about Trump. To a Republican like Ben Sasse, Biden's just okay. He disagrees in terms of policies, but he's never going to, condemn or judge. Permanent Revolution, thank you so very, very much. Oh, Bartlett, hello. Everybody here, Diane and I, hello. And so we have another never Trump Republican out, and we have Trump just about to probably almost certainly after midterms about to run again for the Oval Office in 2024. It wasn't Ben Sasse who took down Trump. It was basically Trump who outlasted Sasse. The main thing is foreign policy. So a person like Ben Sasse wants never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts or a more militant and hawkish foreign policy. He's more of a traditional Republican who is all right with the Democratic Party's viewpoint of foreign policy, which is basically the Lincoln Project Republican viewpoint. That's basically that's basically um I'm not deleting anyone's messages. The algorithm does that, unfortunately. So, but that's basically what this is all about. So Ben Sass, Liz Cheney, uh, Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney, um, Adam Kinzinger, John McCain. If you are a good Republican who opposes Trump, the issue is really about foreign policy. I mean, you could look at a reverence for intelligence agencies or a reverence for alliances or multinational organizations or our quote unquote allies. And there's this foreign policy, this archaic foreign policy establishment mentality that says we have to send Americans and be as hawkish and militant at all times when it comes to, let's say, the Kremlin, or when it comes to the Middle East, or when it comes to any region of the world where we have a geopolitical obstacle. Trump focused on negotiation. Trump focused on negotiation. Permanent revolution. Thank you so very, very much. With Trump, you had an emphasis on negotiation. Okay. With Biden, you do not. And with Ben Sasse, you don't either. So that's the issue there, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have that type of. You don't have. I mean, that's the primary difference. Okay. That's the primary difference. The reason that Ben Sasse resigned is because his foreign policy, his view of not only foreign policy but domestic, just economic policy. He's not willing to perhaps engage in the same types of tariffs Trump is. So, and Trump had some choice words for Sasse here, but Trump bashes Ben Sasse. His author urges former president to take the Senate seat. So the governor of Nebraska, very red state, wants Trump to take the Senate seat. Nebraska GOP Senator Ben Sasse is expected to resign from his seat 2 years ago, seat from his seat 2 years early after being selected as the unanimous finalist for the presidency of the University of Florida. While a conservative author calls for ex-President Donald Trump to fill the potential vacancy. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. Then you could have Trump vote for Biden's impeachment, which would be absolutely hilarious. Creating with Wingless, thank you. To my super chat, thank you. Jane from the country, hello. Creating with Wingless, thank you so very, very much. Permanent Rev, thank you so much. Creating with Wingless, thank you. So, but now before we get to Hunter, TMZ, Alec Baldwin, criminal charges could be coming. DA shows her hand. So, not only do you have Ben Sasse resigning, I mean, on a much more serious, this is a tragedy, an absolute tragedy that could have been averted. The armorer needed to be in the church. That's the main thing. That's the main story here. And I believe Baldwin put out a statement either from his lawyers or I think he's quoted as saying, well, why did the assistant director hand me the firearm? It's like, well, it doesn't matter who handed you the firearm. You should have checked yourself. You should have never pointed at anyone. You should have never fired the weapon, and you should have waited for the armor. So I mean, those are all the issues here. I mean, that's the issue. That's the issue. He should have waited for the armor. The armor was not in the church. I mean, that's the real tragedy here. The real tragedy is that you have a situation where a woman should be alive today because a good, morally superior, highly educated, very wealthy liberal Democrat who wants to erase the Second Amendment and spend his entire life pontificating about how horrible Republicans are. I mean, this is what's happened in our society. We have these people who, because of their wealth and because of their political status, get away with a lot. I mean, he got away with a pretty good amount in New York. I think it was like Eric Schneiderman. He helped swear in Eric Schneiderman, which is very interesting because Eric Schneiderman was forced to resign. So that's interesting. Okay. But I mean, he's had issues with paparazzis, he's had issues with journalists, and here you have a man who it was an accident, but there was so much protocol, there was so many safety measures that were not addressed. That's the thing. You can't just say you can't just say, well, it was just an accident and leave it at that. I'm being facetious, dying to die. But here, Alec Baldwin could be facing criminal charges in connection to the fatal Rush shooting because the DA is asking New Mexico for help in financing several potential prosecutions. So they are asking for, I think it's about $400,000 to $600,000 extra, something around that. They're asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars. District Attorney Mary Carmack Altweiss reportedly filed an emergency request last week asking the New York Board of Finance for extra funds to assist in bringing up to 4 possible criminal cases that may have materialized from her investigation into the loss of life of the cinematographer. And I mean, you have these photos, and it kind of shows like, look at what this man is holding. It kind of that's like a microcosm of the past 2 years within American but also liberal politics. Like, look what this man is holding. It would have been better had he not had he focused on had they focused all so had they placed as much emphasis on basic firearm safety as they did on perhaps other safety protocols. This wouldn't have taken place. But see what he's I don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to get into it. Okay. But here, I mean, Carmack Altweiss, Lord Almighty. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. So Carmack Altweiss got half of what she wanted, according to Santa Fe, New Mexico. She was awarded $317,000 in relief. She'd asked for $635,000, which is what her office estimated would cost to handle the would-be cases. The DA has since um, the DA has since said she'll be seeking the remainder of the dough through special appropriation requests, which suggests she may actually need the full amount to bring any charges uh, to the Rust set. So she's waiting for the $600,000 plus dollars. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Angela, hello. Yeah, I started a bit late. I did a live stream earlier, and I started this one a bit late. Um, Sorry about the internet. It should be a lot better, but I don't know. Maybe it's the computer. I think it might be the computer. Um, it's unclear what sort of charges he and others might face, but DA told local media she was considering all homicide statutes as well as firearm statutes under New Mexico criminal code. So that and then they actually write one of the possible defendants is well-known movie actor Alec Baldwin. So now while the DA isn't definitely naming any potential charges, her office is explicitly saying Baldwin could be on the chopping block. The docs they filed cited by Santa Fe, New Mexican, reportedly say one of the possible defendants is well-known movie actor Alec Baldwin. Jordan B. Jordan B. Thank you. I just joined the stream, but could it be the left is trying to prosecute Hunter? Yes, to get a lesser sentence ahead of the right taking the House and Senate that would throw the book at him. Yes, yes, that's possible, and also a pretext to indict Trump is also possible. Jordan B. Excellent. I mean, that's a good analysis. Very good analysis. Jordan B. Thank you. That is a good analysis, Jordan. Hidden for time. Censorship is crazy. It is. It's only going to get worse, too. Hidden for time. Thank you so much. It's only going to get worse. Jordan B. You're right. Excellent point, Jordan B. Excellent point. Excellent point. Hidden for time. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. It's only going to get worse too. So, I mean, that's the thing. Johnny, hello. That's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. They can't the Democratic Party people who oppose Trump, let's just put it that way. They can't they can't ever defeat his arguments. So what they need to do is silence, or they can't ever really defeat um they information that misinforms people should be easily countered, easily refuted. Why do they constantly need to this, oh well, lives are lost. Like, no life is lost. You could actually sue. If there's a platform or if there's a person spreading information that causes somebody to lose their lives. Pony Soldier, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's I started late. I started late, so I think that could be an issue as well. Um, if you get kicked off, ladies and gentlemen, um, please go ahead and log back on. I think also perhaps my internet connection could be the issue. Because we did have 124 people, but then it just tanked to 34, 46. So now, um, okay, permanent revolution. I apologize. Yeah, let's see. Hold on. Let me ask this. Oh, Lord. Okay. Hold on 1 second. It could be an issue with, Lord. It could be an issue with my computer. That is possible. That is possible. So that's possibly what the situation is. So it could be the issue. But I think how is the feed now? Crazy Oliver, thank you, Johnny. I agree. I mean, I the thing is that's a whole other story. But let's see. How can you see? Okay, so hold on. Let's just do a live stream. I mean, let's ask everybody. Start a poll. Can you hear and see me all right? Can you hear and can you see me all right? Let's see. Can you hear and see me all right, ladies and gentlemen? Algorithmist, Paul Bartlett, Jordan B, and Hidden for Time. I agree with you. I agree with you. Okay. And okay, let's do another one. Let's do another one. Um, this is a very important one. I need everybody here, all 27 people, to answer. Okay, start poll. Will mashed potato brains send us towards the brink of Armageddon? Okay, this is actually an important one. Will mashed potato brains send us towards the brink of Armageddon? Angela, hello. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you. No, that's not reassuring. 33, 30, 40, it's 60, 40. Kathy, hello. Angela, hello. Jane, hello. Wow, 39 votes. Yes, I'm 82%. Ah, 82%. My God. My God. All right, so you have here, um, I mean, this is a serious issue. I remember when they were obsessing over Trump. And everything he said, like they have more outrage over Trump and his words and his rhetoric than the absolute atrocious foreign policy. So we have a foreign policy, ladies and gentlemen, that is literally on the brink. So now they're talking about a preemptive type of foreign policy to prevent you know who from dropping a you know what in you know where. We have entered a realm of where, like, Lindsey Graham, for example, Lindsey Graham is going after Trump. And it's like, I mean, sorry, Elon Musk. And it's like his rebuttal. See, here's the thing. There are so many sacred cows. Lindsey Graham and Elon Musk feud. What Elon Musk said was very rational. What Lindsey Graham wants is to be relevant. Okay? I should ask this question. Will Lindsey Graham will will Lindsey Graham side with Joe on a the heck on a preemptive option towards Vlad against Vlad here? So that's a question we need to address here. Give me your thoughts on that. Oh my God, he will. Will Lindsey Graham side with Joe on a preemptive option against Vlad? Okay, so 70, 80, 20. Because, there is no, it seems that there is nobody with any courage aside from a number of Trump Republicans and the, 70 million who voted for Trump. It seems like a good part of the Republican Party is just worship at worshiping at the altar of media coverage. It's like we have the end of the world that could take place. We have the end of the world that could take place. And all people can focus on is Trump's personality. 80-20. Wow. Wow. So let's just do this one right here. This is my last one, and then we'll continue. So, what's worse, Trump's rhetoric or the possible annihilation of the planet with, let's just say, ICBMs? ICBMs. So here's a question. What's worse, Trump's rhetoric or the possible annihilation of the planet through ICBMs? Trump's mean words. Trump mean words. Thank you so very much, Paul. Thank you, Kristen. And so you have a situation where I don't really think people understand that we are heading towards a like a Cuban missile. This is a Cuban missile crisis moment. We don't really see we don't really see things in that manner, but we do. Oh, oil prices are going up. Inflation is going to continue to go up. Jobs report will be terrible tomorrow. Market is going to tank. Chris, exactly. So you have people, and here's the funny, like amusing but also frightening part of everything. Okay, there are people who would rather have a American girl. Hello, there are people who would rather have an actual nuclear confrontation, a Cuban Missile Crisis moment. Okay, they were actually people who would rather have a Cuban Missile Crisis moment than have Trump back in the Oval Office. I mean, what more do you need? And then you have mashed potato brain saying, preemptive, man. Come on now. Pre-order. Pre-order the music, man. Come on now. Pre And so you have a situation where we are facing a possible. See, you had General Petraeus state here. This is very bizarre. I mean, you can look it up. I won't even put it up on there, but he was like, "Oh yes, if we have to, they would feel a full, NATO would go after their conventional forces." And it's like, what? How are you going to? So that is a direct nuclear confrontation. That is the whole point. We cannot go after their. They would let us know, like immediately. They would let us know if you ever went after our conventional forces, you would then experience more than a Cuban Missile Crisis moment. I pre-ordered the empty American Girl. I mean, we would have more than a Cuban Missile Crisis moment. And he doesn't even make any sense. Like, he started talking about how, we would just the alliance would find out where their conventional forces are and take them out. Take them out where? To dinner? Where are we going to take them out to? Where would we take out their conventional forces? To the movies and dinner? Hey, what are you doing later, Vlad? Want to go to the movies and dinner? Or should we have the end of the world? Yeah! The whole point of having an alliance is to ensure that we don't get to the end of the world. It's like a military alliance also exists to perhaps further a non-military negotiated peace or settlement. That's the whole point. You should probably try. But see, again, you have people that don't want. Um, you have people who don't want a negotiated settlement. You even have signs. You even like in the Middle East, people, the two opposing factions, even in the Middle East, begin talks sooner than what we've seen here. And it's like it's like here you have a situation where nobody is saying anything. Like America is completely asleep. We're completely asleep at the wheel. We only have this shiny orange, um, you know, trinket that the entire half the country's staring at called Trump. They're completely asleep at the wheel. They would rather risk complete Armageddon. I mean, you have one Jordan B, one Hidden for Time. Thank you again, and to my super chat. I cannot do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot do this without you. Hidden for Time. Thank you, Jordan B. One possible issue, or there is the viewpoint that they're allowing this story about Hunter to take place. So when Hunter gets indicted, then they say, well, you know what? We're going to then indict Trump. So, Days 8833, hello. That could be one issue. That could be one issue. Exactly, Angela. Exactly. There is no leader right now. I mean, Trump should be the lead. Trump is the leader, but you see, Trump also is very he's not very good at actual communicating certain things. Don, howdy, HA, just saw the Fox News with ye on the Kushners. What's your opinion on these guys? Thanks. Don, I have to actually do a little bit more research on that interview. Virtual is trust. Big fan of both channels. Help me perfect my investments. Thank you, HA. Thank you so much. Virtual is trust. Thank you so much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. And I appreciate your support. And whereas I don't give any direct investment advice, I can tell you virtual is trust. In my humble opinion, and this is not investment advice, I see hedge funds tanking like Archegos and a 2008 Moment and Bertie Madoff type of criminals being, because when the market tanks too quickly, people who are skating on thin ice get margin calls or Ponzi schemes implode. So you're going to see likely some Ponzi schemes. I mean, the whole thing's going to tank. I say cash is king. I say cash is king. Virtual is trust. Thank you so very, very much. Don, let me go ahead really quickly and type in. I love Kanye West, by the way. I think that he's fantastic. He probably has every right to unload on Kushner. I'm not. I don't think. Was it Jared? Also, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. So yeah, both of them. Yeah. I mean, he has every right. He probably has every right to. Um, but I like Kanye West because he doesn't need Hollywood. That's the thing. Like, and here's how I know. Like, I know people who have disowned, like, kind of disowned me or like removed me from their life because of politics or like like distance themselves. But these they're beautiful, wonderful people. But if Kanye West, because he's so famous and wealthy and he's such a celebrity, like he's such a you could say icon in many ways. Me, little old me, if I decide to vote Trump and have my little YouTube channel, God forbid, I have my little tiny YouTube channel, like 200,000. It's good, but relatively small compared to like all the big channels. And my stock market crash channel, Virtualist Trust, and Don, and everyone here. Oh Lord, not again. It's actually the computer. This computer, I think, is an issue. Actually, it's not the internet connection. It's probably this computer. So maybe it could be the issue with my computer, ladies and gentlemen. But Don, I think that you have an issue. Like when I look at Kanye West, I also say to myself, I wonder, I wonder how many people would distance themselves from me in the manner they did if I was as wealthy or famous or um, relevant as Kanye West. I think that the anti-Trump type of person, I think that type of person is more influenced by groupthink and would be less likely, much less likely to, like, if they saw Kanye West on the street, they would, totally be so happy and, they would never actually confront him on his support for President Trump. That's a little side note. But they would definitely confront friends or family that they've known for 30 years because that's the type of person you have to understand. Oh, sorry. Pony Soldier. Okay, sorry about that. Gosh. I don't know what. You know what? Sometime I think that I had to reboot this. I should have rebooted this computer. Virtual is trust. Thank you so very much. Don, thank you. I had to reboot this computer and I didn't reboot the computer. So I didn't reboot the computer. So I think that's the issue. I've been finding out that this computer, for some reason, and hopefully in a couple of months I'll be getting a new one. This computer, for some reason, messes up more so than the other computer, and I don't know why. I don't really know why. It's just so bizarre. Um, but thank you so very much. Virtual is trust. Don. Yeah, I mean, I think that Kanye West has every right to make that critique. Let's see. Dow is going to go way back to 28 again. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the thing. Here's the deal, man. Don and Virtual is trust. Um, if you look, ladies and gentlemen, at the way the market has behaved, you haven't seen a 6,000 point drop, a 20% drop in one day. Okay? You haven't seen a 20% drop in one day. If you have a 10 to 20% drop in one day, say 3,000 points, okay, or 3 to 6,000 points, that's a big problem. That would be a big problem. So, give me your thoughts. Let's do another. Let's do another. A three. Will we see a 3 to 6,000 point drop in one day in the Dow before November midterms? I think it's quite possible. I think that it's almost. I think definitely it will happen. I don't know exactly when, but give me your thoughts. Virtual is trust. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. What do you think? Will we see a 3 to 6,000 point drop in one day in the Dow before November midterms? And everybody here, I need you to vote. I need you to vote. This will actually be more scientific than. This will actually be more educational, people, than I would say pretty much of the most analysis from analysts on Wall Street. I can tell you that right now. I know, Don. 100 people were booted immediately. It's nuts. So let's go, everybody. I need you to vote on this. You think we'll get a 3 to 6,000 point drop in one day in the Dow before November midterms? Okay, Don. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. We'll get something. There will be a significant drop, and that is going to lead to the same type of thing that took place with the pension funds in the UK. The pension funds in the UK, that's going to be a huge, huge, huge issue. That type of thing. Cash flow, thank you. That's going to be a huge issue. The issue with margin calls, um, that's a huge issue because when the market swings, the swings in the market, such volatility, um, is going to cause hedge funds to likely go under. You have derivatives, very risky derivatives trades. The UK pension funds, um, the UK pension funds engaged in pretty stable investment strategies, but they relied on margin. Exactly, Sigma. I do agree with you. Excellent on yes, great point. World events will play a role. The sad thing is, like, you know, everyone here, myself included, we're just normal people. We're not like we don't benefit from tragedy. We don't benefit from tragedy. We don't benefit from like global annihilation. We don't benefit from military conflict. We don't benefit from long-term military conflict. There are people who do benefit. Lindsey Graham and Biden do. Trump does not. Donald Trump would lose all of his support if he was belligerent, militant, and a war hawk like Biden and Lindsey Graham and Ben Sasse and Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney and others and Nancy Pelosi and others and Clinton. And I think there's going to be a Hillary Trump 2024. But you have a 3 to 6,000 point drop. This month is going to be very precarious. Very precarious. We have an escalation in Europe. OPEC just cut um, oil supply by 2 million barrels. We had 120 million barrels. 120 million barrels. This is how you know that the wonderful, morally superior, highly educated are complete hypocrites. Okay? Let's see. 120 million barrels. The Biden administration will be independently releasing 120 million barrels, bringing the total to 240. Wow. Hold on one second. Lord, you serious? Where's 240? Okay, 240. Oh, okay. 240. So the US and other uh, combating climate change together pumped 240 million barrels of oil into economies. We pumped 120 million barrels of oil. Okay, I'm not sure where touch brilliance. Hello, I'm not sure um, that there's a portion of AOC's Green New Deal legislation that talks about 240 or 120 million barrels worth of oil. So 180 million. Sorry. Department of Energy announces 180 million barrels. The president announced a release. That is the only thing propping up this economy, ladies and gentlemen. He went after the oil. This is like he's not supposed to deplete strategic petroleum reserves because there's therefore, God forbid, a catastrophe. Okay, how on earth is that a green or a domestic energy policy based on transforming the economy to net zero emissions? Reducing how are you reducing carbon emissions when you're pumping 180 million? This is from energy.gov. 180 million barrels. Say that slowly, ladies and gentlemen. 180 million barrels. So let's see really quickly. You pump 180 million barrels. I mean, you are seriously adding. You're adding enough. Um, you're adding enough to bolster weak weak energy output. So you're not supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to be doing that. And it's like, thank you, Angela. Thank you for watching for so long. Thank you. We have 180 million barrels and oil prices. Let's see. Where are oil prices? And crude oil is going back up, $94. It'll go up over 100 soon. And WTI, West Texas Intermediate, is only low because there's a recession and Biden has pumped 180 million barrels of oil. So, I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's just really unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. So, OPEC output cuts send a clear message to the market. This is interesting. As Biden is pumping 180 million barrels of oil into the economy, OPEC is saying, yeah, we're going to Leslie, thank you. Leslie Zan, thank you. Thank you so very much, Leslie. Greatly appreciated. We got about 10 more minutes, everybody. If you want to talk about any specific topic, let me know. But heightened volatility in oil markets is one of the key reasons for OPEC to cut output. The second reason behind the cut is the need to improve the spare capacity of some of the key oil producing nations. So, I mean, pretty much everything that could possibly take place. This is a recipe for a cataclysmic economic downturn. Really, I mean, it's just really unbelievable. It's just really unbelievable. James, thank you. James, I do. I remember. I remember him. He's very, very, very kind. James C. That's right. James, thank you. Thank you, James, for watching for so long. And let's see. So here you have the president. The minute the president speaks about to someone, he has the ability to declassify anything at any time without any process. Mostly true. Okay? That is true. It is 100% true. The majority ruling the 1988 Supreme Court case, Department of Navy versus Egan, which addressed the legal recourse of the Navy employee who had been denied securing clearance, addresses this line of authority. The president, after all, is the commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy of the United States. According to Article 2 of the Constitution, the court's majority wrote, his authority to classify and control access to information bearing on national security flows primarily from this constitutional investment of power in the president and exists quite apart from any explicit congressional grant. So there you go. It's right there. It's right there, everybody. He has the power to just go ahead. And then see, here's the thing. When you look back at public record, you know, articles that written in 2017, the narrative has changed. So now it's, oh, well, Trump needs to be indicted for classified data. Before, they weren't really, Trump was not at risk of any indictment because he was president. So then you have the blockbuster article, and here's how journalism has descended into just pure public relations. The blockbuster article, the in the Washington Post saying President Donald Trump had revealed highly classified information to the foreign minister and ambassador in the White House meeting didn't just put the White House in the defensive, it also put Republican lawmakers in a tight spot. That article cited, let's see if we can go ahead and click on that article. According to current and former U.S. officials, right there. See if you can see it. According to current and former U.S. officials. Lord. U.S. officials familiar with the matter. According to current and former U.S. officials, right there. According to current and former U.S. officials. How on earth is this journalism? You have no evidence at all. You have no evidence at all that this took place. That's not journalism. How is that a blockbuster? Where are the articles saying, according to current and former U.S. officials, Biden sold out the country? Where are those articles? Yes, Leslie, thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Thank you so very much for watching. I am going to start. I started a little later today. I did a segment at around 6 p.m. today, and then I did a late segment, so I was a little too late. But Leslie, thank you so very much. Have a wonderful Friday, everybody. Everybody have a wonderful Friday. We'll do a couple more minutes, and then we'll go. Let's see. He can declassify anything he wants. So, I mean, there you go. That's the issue here. That's the issue. They can't get him on anything here. This is why Donald Trump's declassification claim might not be outlandish. Former president claims to have verbally declassified records. It's not as an outlandish argument if he can prove it. He doesn't have to even prove it. They have to prove he didn't. Cali boy! I just, oh, nice. I just ordered my Go brand personalized plates. Yes. Cali boy, thank you so much. Thank you so very much. Awesome. Yes. Yes. Then they're doing this thing called Cali boy. They're doing this thing called Dark Brandon, and it's like nobody is looking at this man like he's intimidating. There's nothing intimidating about mashed potato brains. Cali boy, thank you again. Greatly appreciated. There's nothing intimidating about mashed potato brains at all. So I don't really get that. Like, I don't get that at all. I don't get that at all. Because he went after Republicans. Like, okay, nobody cares. That's the thing. Republican, Green Party, Independent. Nobody cares what Democrats think of you as a human. Like, nobody cares what Democrats or media or mashed potato brains Joe thinks of a person. I mean, you learn this in high school. You learn this in high school. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Cali boy, everybody here, thank you so very, very much. Virtual is trust. Don, everyone here, thanks everybody. I will have an upload tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Very important one. Please go ahead and watch that. Be here at 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Yeah, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. And I'll see you all soon, everybody. Thanks, everybody. God bless. To my super chat, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be doing 2 uploads. And I'll be doing 2 live streams every day from here on out. So, thank you, everybody. God bless American Girl. Thanks so much, everybody. Cash flow